This is IBM on the 5-minute time frame. I'm going to show you price targets for Monday. We ended the week at $138.46, down nearly 2%. The 52-week low is $120.55. The 52-week high is $153.21. The one-year price target is $147.73, which represents a 6% return from where we are. And this is where we landed. To the north side from where we are takes us to resistance and back to the middle of the trend and the base at 139.24. Above that, a gap forms to the upside at 139.80. Two standard deviations and resistance is 140.83. That gap closes out at 141.22. Three standard deviations is 141.62. And at four standard deviations and another level of resistance, 142.41, and a possible take profit area as well. To the south side, -2 standard deviations takes us to 137.66, 136.84, and at -4 standard deviations and another possible buy-in area, 136.04. Note the clear buy signal from the bot right here at 2 standard deviations, and the sell signal and the sell signal here and here as well. We didn't touch 2 standard deviations, but it was close enough to trigger the sell. And I'm going to flip this over to Boeing. I'm in this trade for my mom. Thank you to Murat for also pointing it out. This is where we ended at 184.91, down nearly 3.5%. The one-year price target is 252.17, which represents a 36% return from where we are. To the north side, back at the middle of the trend, takes us to 186.01. A gap forms to the upside at 187.04, closes out at 2 standard deviations, 191.29. 3 standard deviations and another take profit area, 193.90, and at 4 standard deviations, 196.57. Now to the south side, 180.62, 178.01, and 175.34. Note the clear buy signal at -2 standard deviations here. And what happened? We rode up, didn't quite make it to the middle of the trend, but because this is support, I always anticipate a buy in at support. And we ran up, fell back down, and then grinding sideways. And this gap closed to the upside at roughly 195.35. And I want to show you one other thing with Tesla. There we go. I mentioned that Murat thought that a good sell zone was in the 289 range. And I want to show that to you by pulling that down. This is where he thinks a possible area to take profit would be if you're doing a long swing trade at 289. Obviously, we are not in that zone just yet. But that would take us on the 1-hour time frame to 2 standard deviations. You have to look at the different time frames because it gives you different buy and sell signals. As you can see, I've looked at this stock many, many times in the past. And now back to Boeing. So Murat thinks a good possible sell area would be at 210-ish. And that takes us to, that would be on the hourly. We're not there on the hourly. Let's take a look at this on the daily. So on the daily time frame, I know my chart's a hot mess. Ignore all these other horizontal lines. They are previous support and resistance that I have marked out. but this is where we are. To the middle of the trend on the daily for Boeing is 193.70, and this is where he thinks a good area to possibly get out at 210-ish, roughly there. But if you were playing it a little more risky, less conservative, the price target at 2 standard deviations at 230.13, but again on TradingView it's at 252.17, and that would take us all the way up here to, let me mark that out, 252.17. I'll just mark it right there. So a lot of upside potential in the bigger picture, but obviously lots of levels to trade in between. All right, that does it for me. Thank you so much for watching. And if there's a stock that you would like me to go over, please let me know.